What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more classical music. And we're going to listen to arguably the most famous part of Giuseppe Verdi's very famous opera Il Trovatore, which roughly translates to the Troubadour. And ultimately, this is a piece that in English is typically referred to as the Anvil chorus. In the original Italian, it's referred to or designated as the Gypsy Chorus. It is also sometimes referred to by the first line or by the words of the first line of the chorus, which I think translate to something like, "See, the clouds have gone away." But yes, ultimately this is in English typically called the Anvil chorus. It's often used in, greatest choral tunes of all time. We're going to hear it here from a 1977 performance and recording with the National Philharmonic Orchestra of the UK or of London and the London Opera Chorus. It features such soloists as Luciano Pavoratti as well as Joan Sutherland. And yes, the piece is very dramatic. The lyrics relate to the mood after a storm has lifted, and it's referenced both in a literal visual way, but also how a widow might feel when she finally casts off the black clothes that you wear after your partner might pass away, and coming out and letting her radiant brilliance and beauty be seen again. And it also relates to the workers picking up their hammers to go work on the anvils, but also to pick up their glasses to toast and so on. So there's a let's get working again, let's show our beauty again, let's show our effort again. And yes, the full opera is quite long, so I don't know if I'll go through all the other parts, but I do have both discs. As I said, this is originally from 77, but it comes from my parents' collection, which was a 1986 double CD box set of it. So yes, this is probably the most famous piece from Il Trovatore, but there are other arias and other songs that are worth listening to, so we'll see which ones we go through. I may jump around a little bit before I begin going through another symphony. So yes, with the classical reactions for the immediate future, I might do a few one-offs, including this Anvil or Gypsy Chorus, and then perhaps somewhere down the line I'll go through a concerto or a symphony where I do 3 or 4 reactions in a row. In any case, let's hear it. This is a performance of the Anvil or Gypsy Chorus by the London Philharmonic Orchestra and National Philharmonic Orchestra and the London Opera Chorus from 1977, and the piece is by Giuseppe Verdi, which this opera I think originally premiered in like the mid-1850s, or maybe the early 1850s, like 1851 or something like that. So here we go, Verdi's Anvil Chorus. It's amazing to me. Number one, it's just a legendary piece. You won't forget it if you hear it. The big explosion of what is functionally the chorus is very memorable. You can hear the hammers on the anvils in the main part, and ultimately that adds to the energy and the vivacity of the performance. But it's remarkable to me, when I was younger, I like classical music from the earliest days I can remember. I've talked about this in different classical reactions, especially the early ones now going back a couple years, but my dad especially, and my family more generally, is very fond of classical music, and so my dad had a huge collection. I actually was taken to some concert performances at a very early age, so I loved classical music from the time I was a wee tot. But during those years, and even up to my teenage years, when I really got into classical music on my own, meaning starting to pursue composers for my own taste, and discovering pieces I had never heard from my dad's collection, even then I wasn't particularly fond of opera. And I don't know when the change started, but maybe by the time you get to my mid-20s, certainly by the time you get to my 30s, I began to have a much greater appreciation for opera. And now I love opera, not only the real classics, the Il Trovatores and so on, but even some lesser known operas. So again, it's a testament to the way that music can continue to evolve in your mind and in your appreciation over time, that I didn't care much for opera at all when I was younger, and now I think it's fantastic. Nevertheless, this is perhaps one of the pieces from an opera that would have captured my attention even when I was younger. I've seen it used in movies. For some reason, a very ridiculous usage is coming to my mind. In the second Mighty Ducks movie, there's a scene where two of the more physical players on the team are checking people all over the ice and knocking them down. They play this, which, the power and the sound of the hammers hitting the anvil, it makes sense that they would use it there. But the point is, it's very popular. It's been used in a number of different works in more modern times. So big shout out to Giuseppe Verdi for a great chorus and a great work overall for Il Trovatore. Shout out to the National Philharmonic Orchestra and the London Opera Chorus, and to all the soloists. Again, Pavoratti's in here, Sutherland's in here. I know I'm forgetting some other prominent names, and that's the thing. When you're part of why I think I enjoy operas much more now is when you get so many great singers all on the stage at the same time performing well composed and written music. It's just, bringing together all this talent, and of course, if it's done well, if it's conducted well, and if it's, staged well and so on, it's just really incredible and mesmerizing. So once again, I'm going to do a few more classical reactions that are these sort of one-off, just, taking a little piece here, a little piece there, but within, the next week or next weeks or a month or so, I'll probably lock on to another symphony. I'm thinking maybe a Dvorak symphony, maybe a Brahms symphony, and we'll go through it from beginning to end, and then continue on with the classical playlist. So shout out to those who've been here for the classical reactions for a while. Shout out to those who may have found this after finding my channel more recently. As many people know, I listen to all sorts of music, including classical music, so let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.